Alright guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. This week we got the PGA Championship. That's right, the second major of the year is finally here. So we got that to look forward to this week. Doing a quick recap of last week, we cashed again. That's 3 straight weeks cashing in a row. 14 out of 18 total in full tournament field events. So if you guys want that cash lineup, it's $5 a month. You can find that in there's a link in the description below. So check for that. So this week, it's going to be the tournaments played at Bethpage. And so the course history that we're going to be looking at is going to be 2016, which is the Barclays that was played here, and then 2012 and 2009, or the U.S. Open was actually played here. Now, the only reason I'm going to be looking at 2012 and 2009 is just to see if the player has any course history. Other than that, I really don't care. 2016 is the only year we can look at for significant data. So some of the stats that we're going to be looking at are going to be bogey avoidance, total driving, ball striking, fairways hit, and greens in regulation. And we also will be looking at that bounce back percentage. And I want to bring up the stats as why we're looking at those. So I'm not sure a lot of people will be looking at these stats, but the average fairways hit in 2009 and in 2012 were 60%. The winner was at 73%. That's on average. And then for average greens in regulation, it was 58%. And then the winner was around 32%. So the better you are at that, the better it's going to be for us. Now let's get into the plays. So I think if you want to start off with Tiger, DJ, or Rory, you definitely can. They're all great options. Tiger is first in greens in regulation and ball striking. He's a top 13 total driver. Dustin kind of more of the same. He's first in bogey avoidance, 11th in greens in regulation from 20 or 200 yards or more. Rory is just a great stat fit all around. He's one of the best stat fits on the board. He's a top 5 stat fit. So if you can, I think if I wanted to, I'd rather just pay down for Rory than pay up for Tiger or DJ. But I would rather just pay down for Jon Rahm, who's virtually the same play as one of those three. So I think if I had to pay down for someone or pay down a little bit, I'd rather just go with Jon Rahm. Now, he doesn't have the course history like the other three do, but that's all right. I think Jon Rahm will be able to focus in on this course and have a good week this week. Now, Ricky, he played this course in 2016. He finished T7. He kind of choked, actually, but he's a great stat fit this week. He's made 20 straight cuts, and I expect that he'll continue to be a really good golfer this week. Jason Day, now, if we're not worried about his back, he's the best stat fit in the field. He had a T4 finish here in 2016. He's top 25 in all the stats that we're looking at, except for fairways hit, where he's 62nd in his percentages, but that's still pretty good. Now, Matt Kuchar is one of my favorite plays on the board. He finished T64 here in 2016. He is 14th in strokes gained total off the tee. He's second in greens regulation, third in bogey avoidance, top 15 in total driving and ball striking, as well as fairways hit percentage. Now, Hideki, he's not the best stat fit this week. He did miss the cut here in 2016, but he's just been a cut-making machine. He's made 20 straight cuts. So obviously, I do like Hideki. He does perform well in the more high-caliber tournaments, so I do like him as well. Paul Case is going to be a GPP option. I don't love him. He's let me down the last 2 weeks where the competition was fierce, if you want to say. He didn't make the cut at the Masters or the Players, but he is a great stat fit. Once again, he is 4th in total driving, 8th in ball striking, 20th in both fairways hit and greens in regulation, so I do like him. Patrick Cantlay, I'll have some ownership to him in GPPs. I don't love him this week, but he is 4th in bogey avoidance and 20th in that bounce back percentage, so I don't mind him. Bubba Watson makes for an interesting option. He does have 3 top 20 finishes here, so he has played it in 2016, 2012, and 2009, so he's going to be a good option. Obviously, we know he's a long hitter, and if he's driving the ball accurate, he will be a good play for us this week. It's whether or not he's going to be driving the ball accurate. Now, Henrik Stenson could be kind of a sneaky option this week. He has made 6 straight cuts, which kind of could go unnoticed. He's top 60 in all the stats that we're looking at, and he has been getting better each and every week. He did struggle at the beginning of the year, but I really don't mind him at this price point as a decent kind of sneaky option. The next play I want to touch on is going to be Louis Oosthuizen. Now, Oosthuizen kind of just always plays well in majors. I really like Louis as an option. He finished T18 here in 2016. He doesn't really make mistakes. He's kind of just a smarter player. He is 6th in total driving and 35th in ball striking. But I really like Kevin Kisner here. And there's going to be a problem here. There's a trend here where this, like Kevin Kisner and below range, is just stacked. and you guys will see that he finished T48 here last year, but looking at what he's done recently, 13 straight made cuts, and they've pretty much all been top 25 finishes. He's the top 35 stat fit according to my model this week, so I really like Kisner as an option. Ian Poulter, another great option. Now he didn't play this in 2016, but 2012, 2009, he made the cut. He is 4th in greens and regulation from 200 yards out or more. He's 11th in greens and regulation, 28th in bogey avoidance, 3rd in bounce back percentage, 20th in ball striking and total driving, and he's also top 12 in fairways hit percentage. Webb Simpson is a great option as well. He is 18th in strokes gained total, 7th in bogey avoidance, 20th in that bounce back percentage, and he's also top 65 in total driving and ball striking and putting. He is top 24 in fairways hit as well. He has been playing really well in the Masters and the Players as well, so he's been playing really good. Jason Kokrak finished T7 here in 2016. He is also one of the better stat fits, top 20 according to my model this week. He is 14th in ball striking and 15th in total driving. He is 98th in fairways hit percentage. That's not that good, but it's his long iron greens and regulation and his greens and regulation. He's both top 20 in those, so we do like Jason Kokrak as an option this week. Now, Joel Dahmen, I don't like him as much as I have recently. Obviously, this is a stacked field, so the edge that he gains by playing in a worse field, he doesn't have as much, but I do think he'll make the cut. He doesn't make for a horrible option. Lucas Glover was the winner here in 2009, and it kind of just makes sense. He's a plotter. He hits his greens. He hits his fairways. If he can putt, he does play pretty well. He's top 30 in total putting, total driving, and ball striking. And he's also T18 in greens and regulation, and he's 2nd in bogey avoidance. So if his game's coming around like it has been, he's going to be another solid option for us this week. Now, Ryan Palmer, I think he's going to be a GPP option, but he's not a horrible option. I really don't mind him. He is a top 35 stat fit according to my model this week. He should be able to make the cut, and at that price point, that's not too bad. So I think we can go back to the well with our boy Keegan Bradley. Now, he did let us down in the last event where he missed the cut pretty much on his last 2 holes, which was unfortunate, but I think he can bounce back and have a good week. He finished T53 here in 2016. He is top 12 in ball striking and total driving. He is top 30 in both greens and regulation and fairways hit. So I think Keegan's going to be a strong option this week. Once again, if he can kind of just get his putter rolling around, he's going to have a good week for us this week. Getting a little bit lower, if you wanted to go with Aaron Wise, I wouldn't blame you. I don't love it, but he is top 20 in ball striking and total driving. He hasn't made 4 straight cuts. His game kind of seems to be coming around once again. But I think I'd just kind of rather go a little bit cheaper and go with Jonathan Vegas, who finished at T22 here in 2016. Overall, he's a pretty decent stat fit. Once again, he's one of those guys where if his putter comes around, he's going to be playing really well for us. He is 154th in fairways hit, so that does kind of worry us. But the way he's been playing this year, I won't really mind that too much. So Justin Harding, he is 8th in greens and regulation. 3rd in total putting, 1st in fairways hit. He is 5th in total driving as well. So I think Justin Harding is going to be a great option for us that low. We've seen him pop before in some events this year, so I do like him. Pat Perez has been playing some good golf as of recently. I think he's going to be more of a sneaky option, definitely more of a 10% GPP option for me this week. Jim Furyk. Now, Jim Furyk, we know he's just a plotter. He doesn't make mistakes. He's 19th in greens and regulation, 10th in bogey avoidance, 5th in his bounce back percentage, and he is 2nd in fairways hit. So I don't mind. He's 38th in fairways hit. So I really don't mind him as an option this week. Thomas Pieters, he just kind of seems too cheap for the type of player that he is. I really just don't get this price, and I think he should have been at least $500 more. It just seems too cheap for a player of Thomas Pieters' caliber. Now, if you wanted to go with Ray McDowell, you can. He has made 10 straight cuts. He's not the best at fit, though, so I don't love it. But I could definitely see if you wanted to play him. I wouldn't blame you at all. Going a little bit lower, Jorge Kemp. You guys remember 3 weeks ago we played him in the European DFS event. That was really nice for us. He finished, he's been a beast pretty much his last 5 events, top 20 or better in all of them. I'm not sure he's going to play this well this week, but at that price point, I think we could definitely kind of tease that idea. If we want to have 5% ownership to him, we definitely can. Corey Connors, I don't love him. He's a great GPP option, though. He is a top 20 stat fit according to my model this week, but, this this is one of those players where the stats doesn't exactly fit the narrative, so I don't really love it. I'd rather go with Russell Knox. He's going to be a decent value option for us this week. He finished T60 here in 2016. He's really not bad. He is 52nd in greens of regulation, 57th in fairways hit. He's top 80 in both total driving and ball striking, so he's a decent option. Abraham Answer, he is a nice stat fit once again, like he was last week. It's kind of more the same of Corey Connors, where, you know, if they perform well, it's going to make sense because their stats told us they would, but their recent form doesn't exactly say that they're going to play well. Scott Piercy is the most mispriced player on the whole board, maybe besides Ian Poulter. You know, Scott Piercy, T22 here in 2016. I'll touch on him a little bit more in a second here in the core plays section. I do think Troy Merritt is definitely priced a little bit too cheap for his recent form. He is one of the better stat fits in the field. He is 21st in greens and regulation, 6th in fairways hit. He is top 20 in both ball striking and total driving. Some cheaper options, I won't bring them up, but Steve Stricker you could roll with, and Julian Sir you can roll with as well. Let's get into the core plays. So I already mentioned that I really like Jon Rahm as an option. And like I said, the way he's been playing this year, I would just rather play him than pay up for Tiger, DJ, and Rory. Now I'd love to fit both of them into my builds, and with the pricing this week, you can easily do that. But to start on my builds, I think I'm going to be playing a lot of Jon Rahm. The only worry is that he doesn't have that course history, but with Jon Rahm, I don't think we really have to worry about that. The next play is going to be Matt Kuchar. Now, this is kind of the easier play. Look at those top stats right there. 2nd in greens regulation, 3rd in bogey avoidance, 16th in total driving, 4th in ball striking, and 10th in fairways hit. I mean, at this price point, under 9K, he's going to be an easy option for us to fit into our builds, so we can definitely roll with him. The next play is going to be Ian Poulter. More of the same. You know, Kuchar hasn't let us down this year. Poulter hasn't let us down this year. Let's keep playing them and keep cashing because of them. He's a top 30 in all the significant stats that we're going to be looking at, except for putting. But he ranks 66 in that, which, according to some of the other players that we're looking at, that's really good. And you see his recent form there. 4 out of his last 5 events he's finished T25 or better. So that's something that we really like to see. And then the next play, Scott Piercy, who didn't have a bogey at all last week, and he finished T2nd. That shows you kind of how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour, but I really like him again this week. He's one of the best stat fits in the field. Let's pull up the stats here real quick for you. I'll touch on it a little bit more. 1 second. All right, so he is 8th in greens regulation, 7th in bogey avoidance. He is top 40 in total driving. He is 20th in ball striking and 15th in fairways hit. So I think he's going to be a strong option for us this week as a value option. All right, that's all I have for you guys this week. I will be going live on Wednesday afternoonish, probably around 1 p.m. Central Time, so look for that. It should be a quick and easy video. Just taking your questions if you guys have them. But that's all I have for you guys. Let's keep cashing.